Hello everyone, the Nerdy Steve here, and today I will be featuring a green-white Rite of Harmony enchantment deck in Standard. The list is in the description below, along with a link to Chris Patello's tweet about the deck. I'm going to explain a little bit about how this deck works, and then we'll play a couple of games. So, let's go. We have seen a lot of enchantment decks lately in Standard, and I've seen a couple of Rite of Harmony decks too, but I haven't really seen them together. So Rite of Harmony is a card where whenever a creature or enchantment enters the battlefield under your control this turn, draw a card. So what does that do? Well, it does a lot of things. So you can cast Rite of Harmony during your turn, and then when Wedding Announcement triggers at the end of your turn, you create a 1/1 creature and you draw a card. Or in response to the third saga activation, so when these cards will transform, you exile them and then they enter the battlefield as creatures, so you will draw a card. You also draw a card with Hallowed Haunting. If you have Hallowed Haunting out and you cast an enchantment, and if it's an enchantment creature, you'll get a trigger from the Hallowed Haunting itself, and then when the creature enters the battlefield. So that's kind of what this deck is doing. It is just really, really making sure you never run out of gas with Rite of Harmony by drawing so many cards a turn, and that's going to allow you to compete with all these other mid-range decks that can routinely board wipe, that can routinely 3 or 2 for 1 you. And that's what we're hoping to do. We're hoping to really, really leverage Rite of Harmony to draw tons of cards every turn and to overwhelm our opponent with big Hallowed Haunting spirits, a big Katilda, or, a lot of really big creatures from Wedding Announcement, right? So, with all that being said, let's go play a couple games and see how it works. We'll keep. Okay. So, this is like a decent hand. Alright, if our opponent is a more mid-range deck, this is going to be really, really good. Because the Eiganjos are going to give us the lands that we need to cast Ow. And we just have a lot of good stuff going on. However, if our opponent is also doing this, it's a little less good. So hopefully I think if our opponent is just on the more enchantment ones and not the Rite of Harmony one, we can go bigger, but we need to draw our Rite of Harmony. So Generous Visitor. Alright, so our opponent's board is going to be huge. Which I don't like a lot, actually. And now we have a lot of, not great draws. Uh-oh. Hmm. Flying. Alright, it's a 3/3. Our opponent had a Katilda. Okay, but we can trade this and gain life, right? So now, what, we just ow? Interesting. Very, very interesting. If we get to untap, the Hallowed Haunting is going to start doing a lot of work. The big problem is we need to find ways to gain some life. Okay. So... this also, I think, kills the Katilda. Yeah. Let's look at the top 7 cards. We only got an Azusa, which is a little unfortunate, but sometimes it's gonna be like that. Uh-oh. So if we do Jukai Naturalist, we can Restoration for a Plains, which then we can Katilda, which can chump this for a turn. Alright. Oh, this... What do we do here? And it is an 11/11. Oh no. Exactly what I didn't want to happen. Okay. So we get to do this Hallowed Haunting. This. There. Everything has flying, and we win. GG. Okay. We will keep. We have Rite of Harmony and Hallowed Haunting, and tons of mana. So hopefully we can set up a decent turn where we can get a lot of triggers going on. It looks like our opponent's on a mono white aggro deck, which I think we do very, very well against. Would not want to see a Thalia here. Also, Hopeful Initiate. I probably should have attacked for 2 because I'm not blocking any of these, so I missed out on some very important damage, as you saw. The good news right here is that our opponent can't get another counter on the Hopeful Initiate. So I don't feel very, very sad right now. Only a little sad. But I'm not too worried yet. Bankbuster is very, very fine. And that's very, very fine. So maybe I should double Azusa. But we're here for fun. So I'm gonna Rite of Harmony into Azusa. We get multiple triggers here. We draw a lot of cards. Only if we had another green. That would have been wonderful. So, that worked. Maybe I should have done double Azusa's many journeys, but, you know. Alright, the thing here... Our opponent could have crewed the Bankbuster with the Intrepid Adversary, right? Or that. Alright, we get our Naturalist back, and I think we're actually in a decent spot here, too. Yeah. Yeah, we're... This is gonna be a little absurd, honestly. The Katilda is gonna be huge, and the wedding announcement is also gonna be huge. I'm going into full control because I don't know how priority is going to work, but I want a Rite of Harmony during our turn before the Azusa flips. Alright, GG. So we will keep this hand. It's a little underwhelming because we don't really have... There's our Rite of Harmony. We don't have a lot of stuff going on, right? Not having a turn 2 play was a little upsetty. Our opponent is playing Sten, Paranoid Partisan. Ooh. Playing some interesting brew. So Jack-o'-lantern can exile a card from graveyard, draw, and exile it from your graveyard, add 1 mana. So all of our opponent's artifacts cost 1 less. And then our opponent could also flicker the Sten. Okay, that's fine for me. Tezzeret, Betrayer of Flesh. Ooh. What a cool brew. I'm blocking here because I don't know if we're gonna need to chump. Huh. We'll do this. Now we have... Now our future Rites of Harmonies are going to be really, really good, right? Because Teachings and Restoration is going to hopefully take us into a good spot. Ooh, Moonsnare Prototype, discard. Okay. I don't want our opponent to do that to a Hallowed Haunting, because that would be very, very bad. Idealistically, our opponent taps out here, right? And then we can draw 5 cards during our turn. Hopefully. Lantern of the Lost. Exile target card from the graveyard. Oh, wow. That did not get countered. So now we're going to draw a couple cards here. If Jukai Naturalist lives, we can then Teachings of the Kirin, and we're going to draw a lot of stuff here. Beautiful. I guess we can attack Tezzeret, right? Oh, our opponent did have a Moonsnare prototype. Probably should have done that on our Hallowed Haunting, but again, that's really hard to say because our opponent does that, then it taps them out, and then we're free range to do whatever we want to do. Though what we ended up doing was really good, so... Dragon Spark Reactor, okay. And the Reality Chip. I'm hoping and thinking we'll still win this, but we should be able to give all of our spirits flying and vigilance. Oh, can our opponent just kill us, though? So is our opponent like a Dragon Spark Reactor? You can play all the 0/1s right now. That's really funny. Alright, but I think we have it here, right? Good game. GG. Well, everyone, thank you for watching me play this Selesnya Rite of Harmony enchantment deck. I enjoyed it. I did run into a couple of problems versus Mono Blue that I didn't show because the games weren't at all competitive, or interesting. One of the problems with this deck is that if your opponent's a little proactive, unlike maybe the other green-white enchantment deck with Kami of Transience and Generous Visitor, this one takes a little while to get going, and against a more mid-range, slow environment, this will really, really shine. But against the more aggressive decks, or like the Mono Blue deck with a lot of counter magic, your draws can be a little dirtly, and stuff like Azusa's Many Journeys is a card that like is completely irrelevant in those matchups. And so you have a lot of things that like aren't necessarily very, very good draws. So if it can feel a little meh in some instances. But as you saw in certain matchups, you have the time, and that's really important part. If you have the time to be able to Rite of Harmony and draw a couple of cards, that can just cascade into a position that you're going to win no matter what your opponent is doing. And this does come with, Chris is a great deck builder, and it comes with a really, really good sideboard, and it does have the Kami there. So in best of 3, you can probably change it out to really be able to have a better chance in those matchups that are a little more difficult, right? With all that being said, if you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe. Great way to help support me in the channel. Watch me live at twitch.tv/thenerdysteve. I also have a Metafy account where you can get some coaching. Link is in the description below. And yeah, I hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening wherever you are. And thank you so much for watching. Bye.